Hey everyone, welcome to FRIllustrations. I'm Fraz, and in today's video I'm going to be going over a bit more in-depth tutorial using alcohol markers, specifically the Spectrum Noir Illustrator range. So join in, have some fun. Or don't, because I don't know what I'm doing. Felt my chins wobble then. Okay, so first things first, the paper that I'm using is a good quality paper of 300 GSM. It works really well with alcohol-based markers. You don't tend to get any bleed. The next thing I would recommend is to create some swatches of the colours that you have so you can see what they actually look like on the paper. It also makes it really easy to identify the colours that you want to use. Now that I'm prepped, I'm going to take a small section of this piece and work out where the light source is coming from. So all I'm going to do now is break the character up into loads of little shapes. From there, I can really focus on where the light source is coming from and where those darker areas are. First thing I'm going to do is use a linen to lay down the flat colours, leaving a tiny little space at the bottom where we've got some bounce light. I'm then going to lay down a much darker red-brown to really identify where the darkest part of the shadow is. Then using a mid-tone of apricot, I'm going to bring the two colours together and really render them out. Then I'll jump back to the linen colour to really blend the colours together and make it look a lot more fluid. It's now at this point I can see where the area that I'm working on is at and whether I need to adjust, whether I need to darken up certain areas. And so I can just go back over and repeat until I'm satisfied with the result. Now that I'm happy with one area, I'm going to move on to the next. I'm going to approach it in the same way. I am going to pick out the area that I'm going to flat out and also a small area in which I will leave for the nice reflective light. Once that's done, again, I'll go in with the dark red-brown to really accentuate that shadow and then use the apricot to blend it out. And then polish it off with the linen just to bring it all together. And then if there's any adjustments, I can make that. I can darken certain areas. What I have been doing is kind of blending them together, but sometimes you might just want to lay down a color without blending just to really get a sharp, crisp line to show a cast shadow. So all I'm going to do now is repeat the same process all the way through the body, picking out those smaller shapes, working on that area until I'm satisfied with the way it looks, and then moving on until the whole process is complete. So now that I'm pretty satisfied with the color of the character, I'm then going to start playing with some light sources. So I'm putting like a light yellow ambient light on top of the character, focusing on those white areas, maybe bleeding into some of the actual colored areas already. And then I'm using a suntan to get a much darker tone on the reflected light from a different surface. Now the color itself was quite dark, so all I've done is I've got the blender pen out and I'm just laying that over the top to really kind of lighten up that color. Hey guys, so there we have it. That is a tutorial on how I approach my colouring using alcohol-based markers. I hope you found it useful. If there is anything that you would like to see me approach next, something more on a realism approach, or even a different medium altogether, then feel free to put a message in the comments and let me know. I feel like I'm a pretty versatile artist and I can put my hands to a lot of different mediums. So feel free to challenge me and I'll do the best that I can. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Until then, geek out and have a brilliant day.